Good morning, beautiful people. Yes, today is March the 8th, 2013. We're on our walk with Zoey, and we're close to the meditating rock. There's something I want to show you. Here, Zoey. Hold on, Zoey.
I saw a couple of old bats.
Okay, be careful, Zoey. Here's the meditating rock right over here. And I've got something special for you today. I have a new book, new reading material. And we'll still stick with the friendship book, but I thought I'd introduce this book because it was on top of my TV. I guess it fell off my bookshelf. And I thought, wow, this is an interesting book. And it was a movie. It's called RAINTREE Country. Oh, here we are. Ouch. It's a long way down. Now, hold on. Here's the book I'm talking about. Hold on. RAINTREE Country. From 1948.
So you better keep your eyes open. Do you hear me, dear?
I hear you. Talk about that woodpecker hole. I want to show people the woodpecker hole before I read this book because...
Boy, it'd be a nice film to get.
For my mother. Oh, yes.
It's a rare species, Jane.
Yeah, I have to let Zoey down because she's pulling.
Tom last year, he's around there permanently.
Stay. Oh, Zoey, please stay. For our reader, RAINTREE Country is a story. I gotta put some headphones on. Could you give me a minute? I'm reading from a book, thanks. RAINTREE Country is a story of a single day in which are embedded... Sorry, Leonard, I have to put you on hold. You keep talking through my reading, okay? RAINTREE Country is a story of a single day in which are embedded a series of flashbacks. The chronologies printed may assist the reader in understanding the structure of the novel. At the back of the book may be found a chronology of historical events and bearing on the story. Chronology of a great day for RAINTREE Country. Oh, RAINTREE County, July 4th, 1892. Mr. John Wycliffe, Shaughnessy, awakens in the town of Waycross, page 3. 6 o'clock a.m. The Shaughnessy family leaves Waycross by Surrey. 6:45 a.m. in the courthouse square of Freehaven, Mr. Shaughnessy enters a museum of RAINTREE County antiquities. 7:45 across the site of the vanished town of Dan Webster, Mr. Shaughnessy carries a sickle and a box of cut flowers. 8:30 approaching the town of Moreland, EVA Alice Shaughnessy reads the last page of Barriers Burned Away. 8:45 re-entering the great road of the Republic in Waycross, Mr. Shaughnessy is engulfed in wheels and faces. 9:30 a.m. Senator Garwood B. Jones arrives by a special train in Waycross Station. 10 a.m. Three men tip their chairs back against the general store for a talk. 12:05 Esther Root Shaughnessy enters the revival tent to hear the oldest story in the world, the Reverend Lloyd G. Jarvie officiating. 10:30 a.m. Mr. Shaughnessy hands Professor Jerusalem Webster Stiles a copy of the New Historian, containing the legend of a house divided. 11:15 A photographer, a preacher, a lady in the Victorian mansion, a chorus of men only, and a white bull prepare respectively to take pictures, glorify God, distribute pamphlets, see an exhibition for men only, and affirm life. Afternoon. 12:30 p.m. In the intersection of Waycross, General Jacob J. Jackson presents Mr. Shaughnessy with a copy of a manuscript entitled Fighting for Freedom, and the GAR parade forms to match on the schoolhouse for a banquet. 2:30 p.m. The great patriotic program begins in the schoolhouse yard. 4:30 p.m. Eva Alice Shaughnessy muses in Waycross Station, where statesmen, soldiers, financiers, and poets arrive and depart by train. 4:35 p.m. As Senator Garwood B. Jones prepares to entrain for the city, Mr. Shaughnessy recalls a sphinx recumbent in his gilded years. 5:05 p.m. Financier Cassius P. Carney descends upon the eastbound express in Waycross Station. 6 p.m. Between two worlds, in contest for her soul, Esther Root Shaughnessy passes the intersection in Waycross, and a train bears Financier Cassius P. Carney from Waycross Station. 7:30 p.m. On the porch swing at Mrs. Elvina Brown's mansion, an informal meeting of the Waycross Literary Society opens a discussion on The Golden Bough. 9:30 p.m. Esther Root Shaughnessy watches a cluster of torches approach the garden east of Waycross. 9:35 p.m. From the tower of Mrs. Brown's mansion, Eva Alice Shaughnessy beholds a celestial conflict. 10:50. The last 4th of July rocket explodes over Waycross. Midnight. Professor Jerusalem Webster Stiles departs by train from Waycross Station. And here's a chronological order of events, which I will probably read one day, but we're just going to get to the meat of the work. Here it is, RAINTREE County. A great day for RAINTREE County. Epic fragment from the Free Enquirer, July 4th, 1892. Yes, sir, here's the glorious 4th again. And here's our special semi-centennial edition of the Free Enquirer. 50 pages crowded with memories of 50 years since we published the first copy of this newspaper in 1842. And friends, what a half-century it's been. While the Enquirer has been growing from a little 4-page weekly to a daily paper of twice the size, the population of these United States has quadrupled, and the territory governed under the institutions of freedom has extended from sea to shining sea. In those 50 years, the Great West has been conquered, and the frontier has been closed. The Union has been preserved in the bloodiest war of all time. The black man has been emancipated. Giant new industries have been created. The golden spike has been driven at Promontory Point, binding ocean to ocean in bands of steel. Free education has been brought to the masses. Cities have blossomed from the desert. Inventions of all kinds, from telephones to electric lights, have put us in a world that Jules Verne himself couldn't have foreseen in 1842. Folks, it's been an era of progress, unexampled in the annals of mankind, and all of it has been made possible by the great doctrines on which this republic was founded on July 4th, 1776. During those 50 years, we haven't exactly stood here in RAINTREE County. Freehaven has grown from a little country town to a bustling city of 10,000. The old courthouse of 1842 could be put into the courtroom of the present imposing edifice, one of the finest in the state of Indiana. And we challenge any section of comparable size in this republic to show a more distinguished progeny of great men than our own little county has produced. If anybody doubts the above statement, let him take a look at what is going on in the little town of Waycross down in good old Shortwater Township. The eyes of the whole nation are fixed on the little rural community today. The celebration there to honor the homecoming of Senator Garwood B. Jones is a striking testimonial to the vitality of our democratic institutions. While we have opposed Senator Jones on political grounds, we will be the last to diminish the luster of his name or the distinction he has brought upon the county of his birth. We had hoped that the senator would see fit to make his homecoming address here in county seat, but no one can doubt the political wisdom of Garwood's decision to speak in his birthplace, a town of 200 inhabitants, as the opening move in his campaign for re-election. It's a dramatic gesture, and the senior senator from Indiana needs all his vote-winning sagacity, not only to defeat the rising tide of populism this year, but to further his well-known ambition to achieve the presidency in 1896. Nor is the senator the only nationally known figure in Waycross today. His friend and ours, another RAINTREE County boy, Mr. Cassius P. Carney, the famous multimillionaire, is expected to be there. And our own great war hero, General Jacob J. Jackson, is going to lead a march of GAR veterans to point up the pension issue. There are rumors of other celebrities coming on the senator's special train, and all in all, it looks like the little town of Waycross will have darn near as many famous people in today as Washington, D.C. If the celebrated Stanley set out to explore this dark continent tomorrow for the great living American, he could do worse than get off a train in Waycross to ask his famous question. Dr. Livingston, I presume? Anyway, here we go. We'll read tomorrow, Mr. John Wycliffe Shaughnessy. I presume. Yes. Okay, we'll read this tomorrow. And I know someone who knows the Livingston family. Small world. I wanted to show you something before we go. Hold on. Oh! Here we are. This is what happens when the huge red-headed woodpecker decides to do some chewing time. Isn't that amazing? Well, anyway, have a wonderful day, everyone. Remember, tomorrow, next chapter of RAINTREE County.